What is up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out the show. Appreciate you guys checking in so bright and so early. I'm still waiting for my man Lamar to join in. So I sent him the time. I don't know. He's Central Time, so I hope that the time was not a confusing factor there. Anyway, so we'll press on, and hopefully he'll join us soon. Let's greet some people up in here. Let's see. Rob L. Esquire says yes. Hello to you if you're still watching or you're going to watch. Minister Misty says, I just discovered this lady's page a few days ago. I love her content. The only issue that I have is I don't know if this is a real person or not. She's not, to my knowledge, not showing her face. I did reach out in an email to see if I could have them on. I am concerned about that. I don't particularly like following content that is just automated AI type of generated type of stuff. You don't know who these people are. Again, this is just my sensing of it. I don't know if she's got a few. She's got a lot of videos. So I don't know if she started off a certain way and then switched to AI. So I don't know. I don't want to speak ill of her. But anyway, that is a concern of mine. Erod209 says yes. Maybe I should make that a survey question here. Maybe I'll do that survey question here. Let's see. Good evening, Dr. Ellen. Chat. Kosher clinician. That was for Rhonda. Kosher clinician says yes. Let me set this up here in the chat. I was got distracted for a second here. Let me set this up here. Let me start a poll here. Are older ladies delusional? Sometimes. Did I spell everything right? Are older ladies delusional? Okay, here we go. Start poll. All right, closer clinician. Thanks so much for joining in, brother. Appreciate you. I gotta have you back on. We had a great conversation. Rhonda Payne says y'all hit the like button on the way in. Please make sure you do that. Happy Friday, all. Hope everyone had a good week. It was good. Hello to you, October. Hello from North Carolina. Out of sight, out of mind. You and kosher clinician down there in the greatest state in the union, according to kosher. Let's see where we at here. Kenneth Young, salute to you, brother. Minister Misty is in the building. I'm on time every night. When have I been late, October? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I'm on time almost every night. Every night. I think I only had to start twice, and those were due start late twice because of technical difficulties, right? Glorious love. The Tar Heel in the house, greatest state in the union. Okay. More with less. Hey, seeing you in a little bit there. How you doing? Good evening, Dr. L, Mr. Lamar, and chat. Hit the like button. I won't have to take it back later. I'm sure you won't. And don't take it back. Why would you take it back? Rhonda, let's see. Make sure you answer the poll question here. Did anybody hit the poll question yet? Yep. So okay, more with less. Misty, who else is in the building? Okay, so Lamar's not here. I just texted him a little bit ago. So I know he said he got the email and all that. So I was stationed in North Carolina for about 4 years. Are you still in? You still serving? how's that going there? Okay. Mm, all right, so we're gonna start off with the couple of videos here. All right. No, sir. Okay. North Carolina. Okay. No, sir. Delusional about what? Okay. We're gonna talk about being delusional about mating, dating, what's going on. Their expectations, what they want in life, particularly from a mate. Let's just stick it with that. I'm not talking about delusional. I guess we could talk about delusional as far as job prospects or whatever, but just dealing with, are they delusional about what they're expecting in mating and dating, their expectations, their standards? Is it too high? Are they thinking outside of what they are worth as a value wise? And I've been having this conversation a lot, and I think that a lot of ladies don't understand what they bring to the table. This is huge. I've addressed this many times. I keep having emails about it. I keep getting text messages about it. These ladies think that their value is something that it's not. And I'm not talking about your value as a human being. We are all equally valuable in whatever you believe in God or not, the sight of God. But what we're talking about is concerning how you show up in the mating and dating market. Are you just as valuable to someone, to, in particular, the man that you want? That is the key. Are you valuable in that? And do you deserve to get the type of man that you want? Whatever you write in there, right? All those different sixes and his abs and his money and all this type of stuff. Are you in a place where you should have that type of person? Whereas if somebody else comes along who is somewhat lesser than you, would you settle for that? Quote unquote, in quotations, would you settle for that? So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about that. Yeah, so that's what we're talking about. Are you delusional? And therefore, are you setting up something in your brain that you think that you want, you think you deserve, because you got all these people sliding into your DMs, and meanwhile, you really don't qualify for that. That's the question that we're asking. You really don't qualify for that. And you guys can feel free to, to chime in. Lamar just texted me he's on his way. So what does it mean to be in this place? What are you looking for? What is it that you think that you deserve for your station in life? And that's your height, that's your weight, that's your age, that's your health concerns. We're talking about 40 and up people right now, right? What is it that you deserve? And do you think that you are thinking more highly of yourself than you ought to think? That's the question we're trying to answer for tonight. Are you delusional in that? It's a good question. I'm glad you asked, more or less. Lamar's up in the building here. Let me make sure he's at his camera, man.
I'm here, brother. My bad. I
That's all good.
time thing. I'm just sitting in my room, just chilling, and I saw the tell. Oh shit! I forgot he's in Connecticut.
All right. So Erod says he's 54. I mean, I hope I won't have to take back later. Trusting I won't be triggered. I'm almost gonna guarantee you, October, you're gonna be triggered tonight. Not that I'm gonna try to do it. I think y'all know me about that, but I think it's gonna be some things in here that are going. And what I hope to get out of this conversation is that we really set some realizations, help you to come to be grounded in your expectations, grounded in realizations about what it is that you should be looking for at this stage in life. And if we can help you with that, that's my goal anyway, to help you with that, then I think that we have done that. But holding out, if you're just throwing an age out there, if you're 50 years old and you're hoping that you're going to get someone who's going to be a millionaire or make $300,000, and he's going to take care of you and buy you everything and buy stuff for your kids and this, that, and the other, I think that's delusional thinking. I think that's delusional thinking. So, what say you, Lamar? What's your thoughts about this?
I hope that women, if your goal is you want to be married, I think this is, if you want a companion, you want to be married. I think it's time for women to really start listening to men. If that's your goal, if you say, hey, I want these things, then really start to study the men that are talking, because sometimes the message gets lost in the attitude or the way it's delivered or anything like that. And I think we are a super sensitive society. And it doesn't have to be that way, because I think, and with my podcast, with yours, I think it's trying to give an insight what men think, because I don't think we've had a voice before. We never had a platform to speak. So now that we are speaking, nobody wants to listen, and they want to, they want to deflect.
So, out of sight, out of mind says, I'm 46 and I'm flabbergasted by their demands. Out of sight, out of mind. Put your demand that you've heard, whether you've seen them on the internet or maybe you have some friends. Tell us some of the outrageous demands that people in your cohort are making, if you could. More with Less says, this 62-year-old is not delusional about my expectations. Same thing with you. If you could write what you're looking for in your demands, standards, what you're looking for, write them in there. And you say you're not delusional about your expectations. So tell us your standards, your expectations, what you're looking for, etc. Erod says, I think most women think what they bring to the table is what men are looking for because it's coming from their own perspective. Men and women are not the same. We've constantly in this space have been trying to educate these ladies about that. What the women are looking for is not what the men are looking for. What the men are looking for is not what the women are looking for. Right, Lamar?
Correct. Absolutely correct. I think, again, 50 plus years old, you need to sit down with yourself and be realistic. What do you want out of life? Sometimes, I've had conversations with women, and, I tell them, say, do you have the time to give to a relationship? That meaning you have children, you have a career, you have family. So a man is going to be third or fourth at best. So what does that look like to you? Is that 2 times a week, 3 times a week? How much time can you give me? And does that make sense? So I had a woman one time was like, 2 times a week. So I got 5 other days to just to do nothing with. Now, yes, I should have other hobbies and things like that, but 2 times a week seeing a person is not a relationship to me. It's just not. We are friends, we're companions, we do good things together, whatever the case may be, but that's not a relationship. A relationship is going to be predicated on me seeing you potentially every day of my life. So I need to get as close to that as possible to see if I can, be with you like that.
Very good. Usuma Abdu, welcome. I live in the DC area. The most unrealistic and entitled women on the planet are in this area, and they literally get more entitled with age. It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about it. Rhonda's saying, welcome to the guest. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Mr. Minister Misty Facts, I listen to very few women with platforms. Yeah. My 60-year-old female peers that I engage with are not as well, so I can't speak for all older women. My 60-year-old female peers that I engage with are not as well, not delusional. Okay, so I can't speak for all older women. Okay, very good, very good. Let's see who else is in the building here. Part of being delusional is not thinking you are delusional. Yeah, that's right. That's part of the crazy thing, right? Crazy people don't know they're crazy. What's up, Yoli? If you seek to be in a relationship with a man, listen to what men are saying. Women will have you single indefinitely. We're definitely going to get into that. Let's see who else is here. Chris Mike is here. Easy answer, yes. They want their bills paid. Okay, here's some of the things that are demanding. They want their bills paid, and I'm assuming 40 and up, right? They want their bills paid, vacations, and for the men to take care of their children, yet they don't demand that from their fathers. Men and women aren't and never will be the same. I can't imagine these ladies just coming along just saying, I'm 42, just throwing out an age there. I'm 42. I want you to come in here, take care of me, my kids, potential grandkids, pay all my bills. What? And you working? Most of these ladies are working.
You know what I would like to see? I would just like the 50-50, the 50-50 culture to make a little bit more sense. Like if a woman today who's grown, who has her bills are $5,000 a month, and a man like, I like you, I want to build something with you. Let's split this in half. That makes no sense to women.
It's crazy.
He just saved you $2,500 a month.
Crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. That's absolutely bonkers. Somebody said something about bonkers. That was absolutely bonkers. Other side of the mind says, I was taught to have your own everything, and having a man is extra if you're working together to be the end goal. Okay. Men want feminine. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. He said winter is coming.
The day of reckoning is coming, and we just had a topic last week that you was a part of, talking about older women are now dating younger men, and women aren't built to play men games. It's like, you guys should stay in your lane, talk to each other and be feminine, encourage each other that way. Don't be like, hey girl, go get you a young man. And that's not, you're not built for that, because that young man is going to take advantage. So try to do it the other way before you go and try to do something that a man's doing. Try to be feminine first. Be feminine.
More with less, as I observed my widowed mom maintain a long-term relationship for decades. They saw each other on a regular basis. They both maintained jobs, retired, went back to work during this time. Yeah, so it's just like, you just got somebody to kind of partner up with, pal around with, go to the movies with.
Yep.
Whatever, right? This other stuff. To me, I've said it before. You're making this way too complicated. Particularly she was widowed, so she had someone. Does she really want to move somebody else in? I don't know if they were living together or what, but just come together, help take the financial burden off of each other. And this seems to be such a taboo to talk about, and that's why we're going to talk about. So. What's up, Trey? Is that you, Trey? All right. I may invite Trey to come up so we can continue to battle it out there to the last episode.
You know what? We got off the thing, and she know I love her, and it's like, it's all love. Like I said, it's just my opinion. Y'all don't got to listen at all.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the first video tonight. So we talked about being delusional and what ladies are looking for, etc. So this is the first video that I wanted to kind of discuss, and this is going to be a small encapsulation of what we're talking about here. This is we watch history here. All right, here we go. We'll do this one here. All right, here we go. This is the 50-year-old lady here. Where's the sound at? Where's the sound?
I make my eyes. I'm horrible with that.
It's not coming up with the sound icon here. Oh, here it is.
Time.
How long?
About 30.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 50.
Are you single right now?
Real single.
Have you ever been married before?
Yeah, I was married for a long time.
How long?
About 30 years.
So how's dating been the last year single?
I don't date. I don't have time for that.
So would you say that you're looking for something serious again at 50 right now?
Yeah, somebody that meets my expectations.
So what do you expect from your man right now?
To take care of me. To provide for me. Even though I don't need a man to provide for me.
So you would go Dutch with a man?
To me, that word Dutch.
When you go out to, dinner, he pays for his stuff, you pay for yours?
Not really. If he's a man, he can pay for both. Okay. But I'm not expecting for him to pay for me because I can provide my own dinner, my own anything. I can provide anything that I want, so.
How old are you?
And that's it. She can provide for it, but I got to have a man who's going to come in plus 50 and take care of everything.
She'll be single for quite some time. Yeah, I mean, you can't lead with that. It's just, that's the craziness to lead with that.
She's not an ugly woman. She's very, attractive. Just you got to come in there and just start taking care of stuff, pay my bills, and meet my expectations. And the more successful it seems to be, the more successful they get, the more demands that they get. And that's just like it should be that the demands lessen to a certain degree. Right. I got money. I don't need you for money. I got a place to stay. I don't need you for a place to. I got a nice car. I don't need your ride. But it just gets more and more for some people, obviously, for some people.
Yeah, they got to figure it out, man. You know, it's unfortunate that at a woman at 50 years old, she, like you said, she's attractive, you know, but she's probably more suited for a man that's probably 55 to 60. You know, that's the man who's going to look at her like, hey, I got something pretty good. The 50-year-old man that she wants, he don't want her. He wants a 45-year-old or a 40-year-old. And that's just the game. And women get so offended by that. But I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I said, when you were 18 years old and you had choices, did you care? When you all the girls, we all went to high school with the girl that dated the guy outside of the school. And nobody got mad at that girl. They were just like, all right, cool. You know, and women have been able to execute their needs. But then when men get to a certain age where we make more money and stuff, we can execute what we want. And then we're sassy and we're all this. I don't get it.
Let's see. Somebody asked, "Is Anita coming?" She is always welcome. I didn't text her and tell her we were doing this, but I'm sure she got the notification. But if she wants to come up, she can. Let's see. Okay, I want to get to the videos that you guys discussed, but I want to play one or two of these other videos here from these particular ladies, right? And let me take this down here. Stop screen share. So I'm going to play this video here that, again, I'm not always happy when people are doing this AI stuff, but here we go. We'll play this one here. And this says, why delusional older single women try to rewind the clock, making a fool out of themselves. So we'll play a little bit of this here. And then we'll talk about it here.
Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today, we're...
Oh, I got to sped up there. Let me slow it down.
Getting real about something that's become all too common in today's culture. The Forever 25 illusion. Why some older single women are trying to rewind the clock and making a fool out of themselves. Everywhere you look, from social media to nightlife scenes, you see grown women clinging to the fantasy of eternal youth. They're dressing like teenagers, talking like influencers, and chasing the same validation they sought decades ago. But behind the filters, wigs, and waist trainers lies a hard truth. Time is undefeated. And no matter how much money is spent on makeup, surgeries, or attention-seeking behavior, the clock doesn't stop ticking. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit that super thanks button. The Forever 25 illusion, why some older women are trying to rewind the clock. In a culture obsessed with youth, social media filters, and endless anti-aging products, a growing number of older women are feeling the pressure to stay forever 25. Instead of embracing maturity, wisdom, and the beauty that comes with experience, many are chasing a second adolescence, trying to dress, act, date, and live like women half their age. But the results often look less like empowerment and more like a performance that invites the wrong kind of attention. The culture of denial. We live in a society that fears aging. Women are told their worth peaks in youth, when they are most desired, most visible, and most socially valued. So instead of transitioning gracefully into a new life stage, some try to freeze themselves in time. Cosmetic procedures, extreme fashion choices, TikTok dances, hot girl summer slogans at 52. Many are stuck in a loop of trying to reclaim what the world told them they're losing. But here's the truth. Age is not the enemy. Pretending it hasn't arrived is. The social media effect. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have blurred the line between generations. A 55-year-old woman and a 22-year-old influencer can be posting the same pose, same wig, same dance, same soft life caption. But the internet is ruthless. Where younger women get praised, older women get mocked, called delusional, desperate, or still trying to be outside. Instead of celebrating maturity, society rewards imitation of youth. The tragedy? Many women don't realize they're trying to compete in a game designed for them to lose. The missing piece, identity after youth. The deeper issue isn't makeup, fashion, or surgery. It's identity. A lot of women were never taught how to see value in themselves beyond attraction. If all you've ever been praised for is beauty, then aging feels like disappearing. That panic creates extremes. Partying like a 20-year-old, dating men much younger, chasing validation through trends meant for a different season of life. What maturity actually offers. The irony is that older women have what most young women don't: life experience, emotional intelligence, stability, clarity, and a stronger sense of self if they embrace it. The real glow up isn't pretending to be young, but mastering the stage you're in. A confident 50-year-old woman who owns her age is more powerful than a 50-year-old trying to cosplay 22 when it becomes a spectacle. The sad part is some women don't just age, they fight it loudly, publicly, and embarrassingly. Viral videos of club Annies, 60-year-olds saying, "I still got it," grandmothers twerking for likes, women competing with their daughters for attention. It turns into a performance instead of a life. There's a growing number of women who refuse to accept aging with grace. Instead, they've fallen into what's being called the Forever 25 illusion. It's the desperate attempt to live in denial, to pretend that their 20s never ended. The result? Many are becoming caricatures of themselves, mimicking the looks, language, and lifestyles of a generation that doesn't even see them as peers. What once was a symbol of maturity and wisdom has turned into an embarrassing chase for relevance. Social.
All right, so I don't want to play all of it because I want to get to the other stuff there. But what are your thoughts about what you were saying right there?
You know what? I think attention is the absolute worst drug ever. And if you like attention, it's not much you can do about it. I don't think wanting attention has an age. If you are 50 or you're 25, if you crave attention, that's who you are. And 50 Cent said something a long time ago. It said, if your beauty is the first thing that you lead with, you're gonna do some whole shit. I mean, at some point, if all is tied into is your body, your face, your looks, and all of that, you're gonna lose that battle. And these grandmas need to learn how to be grandmas again, man. It's like, it's everybody, this culture of having kids and not being married. I got a 27-year-old daughter, and the number one thing I keep telling her is, you don't deserve a baby if you can't secure a husband. And that's I've been telling her that since she was 8 years old. I said, we get married and then we have children. We don't do it the other way. I said, if you choose to do it your way, you get no help as a grandparent from me. So I just think these grandmas got to really slow down, man. Social media is bad. And that's one of the things when I date. My number one thing is I go to a woman's Instagram page. If she has over 5,000 followers, I'm not doing it. I will never date you. And social media is horrible, dude. It is absolutely horrible.
Let me put this next one on the screen here. And this is older women with bad advice there. I mean, there's a ton from her channel we could play. We could sit here all night. Again, somebody put up that this sounds like AI. Yeah, I don't know if this is a real person. I mentioned that in the beginning here. I don't know if this is a real person. I did email this person or her today to see if she would come on. And again, she's got 500 videos, over 500 videos. So I don't know if she started off with I don't know if she started off talking about, showing her face and doesn't show it anymore. So I don't know. So I don't want to put it out there like that. But anyway, so let's see, Virtuous Woman YouTube. So anyway, this is her channel here, Virtuous Woman YouTube. So we'll do this one here. Older single women, poor role models for younger generations.
I don't need a man era promised women freedom. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we're talking about a hard truth many don't want to face. The I don't need a man era promised women freedom, but it's delivering something very different: loneliness, financial struggle, and regret. What was once marketed as empowerment has turned into isolation for many older single women who are now realizing that independence without balance or partnership can come at a heavy cost. The promise was freedom. The reality, isolation. Many older single women are discovering that while independence offers pride, it doesn't guarantee peace. Bills, aging, health challenges, and the emotional weight of going through life alone are revealing cracks in what was once considered an empowering ideal. And as men grow less interested in relationships with women who built identities around not needing them, a painful irony emerges. The very independence that was meant to protect has now become a barrier. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel, hit that super thanks button. Models for younger generations. For decades, older women were seen as the wisdom keepers, mentors who passed down life lessons, stability, and guidance. But in today's cultural climate, a growing number of younger women are finding that the advice they're receiving from older women isn't helping them build healthy relationships, financial security, or long-term happiness. Instead, it's leading them down the same path of struggle, regret, and emotional burnout that many of these older women now openly admit they are facing. This isn't an attack on age. It's a look at how some older women, shaped by their own disappointments and failed choices, are recycling the same mistakes by promoting them as empowerment. One, the live your life, don't settle advice that backfires. Many older women encourage younger women to focus on yourself, have fun, don't worry about relationships, often masking their own unresolved regrets as a form of empowerment. The mindset of independence have created a generation of women who delay stable relationships, only to face loneliness later, just like many of the women who gave them that advice. What's missing? Balance. Self-focus without long-term planning is not empowerment, it's escapism dressed up as freedom. 2, men are the problem mentorship. Some older single women, bitter from past relationships, pass down a narrative that men are unnecessary, untrustworthy, or only valuable until they disappoint you. That rhetoric may feel comforting in the moment, but it creates a mindset of distrust, defensiveness, and emotional isolation in younger women who haven't even had real relationship experience yet. Instead of teaching how to choose better, they teach how to avoid trying at all. 3, promoting unhealthy lifestyles as self-acceptance. From eat whatever you want, love your size, to you don't need to look good for anyone. Some older women teach younger women to reject improvement in the name of self-love. The result? Younger women are left with lowered standards in beauty, health, and femininity, only to reach their 40s and 50s, wondering why dating, marriage, and self-image suddenly became so difficult. What's even more damaging is that the same older women preaching this often secretly wish they had taken better care of themselves when they were young. 4, the career first, happiness later trap. Older women who spent their prime years chasing careers at the cost of family are now encouraging young women to do the same, without disclosing the silent reality many face in midlife. Lack of family support, emotional burnout, no partner to grow old with. They often glorify independence, but rarely talk about its price. 5, regret disguised as empowerment. The biggest problem is the advice and the lack of transparency behind it.
All right, again, I'm going to stop it right there, so you guys can go check that out. The rest of that particular video. Are you seeing that that a lot of ladies who have chased the bag, education, career, are now in a certain level of regret?
I see it on the dating sites, man. You know, I'm actively, out there on there. I see it back and forth, man, and they lead with that. And it's like a lot of women don't even know how to speak a man's language. It's like, it's leading with, I told a woman one, and I hate that I even do this sometimes. I start trolling on it. I know I'm getting kicked off these dating sites, but I be trolling some of these women sometimes. Like, why are you leading with all this negative in your bio? He's like, don't come at me like this. Don't come at me like this. It's like, really? That's you think a man's gonna read that and go, I want to date her? It's like, I don't understand what women are trying to do. Is that if your feminism brainwashed you guys, did it give you guys more independence? Yeah, probably in some cases, but it also made you feel like you were equal to a man. And that's not how it's designed. I'm not a religious person, but I do know very well that men and women are not equal. They shouldn't be equal. We have different responsibilities and different roles. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think as older women now are starting to walk into it, in the next 10 years, 15 years, there's going to be so many single women. And then it's just going to be, a free fall for the guys that are the upper 20%, because that's all the women want. They only want the upper 20. The other 80, they're free. They're just, they're not even existent to women.
Absolutely. Trey, if you're still here, I dropped a link for you so you can hop on at any time, because I want to play you and Lamar's interaction there, the exchange. So if you're there,
come on, Trey.
So let's check out the poll here. So our older ladies, delusional, 56% said yes. No, said are at 20% saying no, and sometimes are 24%. So. So if you have not hit that, chimed in on the poll, make sure you do that. Trey, if you're in the building, hop on up. Let's see here. MJ says, MJ, what's up? Also, women that are 5s and 6s are best at thinking they can wait, and then by the time they're in their late 30s, they are now like 3s and 4s expected to find a handsome husband.
Holy
wow.
Oh no, is MJ a woman or a man?
Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Holy cow! Yeah, that's right.
Holy moly! That came out of left field. Oh, that was woo.
Yeah, that
Truth.
was.
It's
Oh,
truth,
man.
but I mean,
Wow.
there's always some truth in it. It's like, I don't know. Do women look at themselves? Because every woman I meet, they all think they 8s and 9s, you know. And I'm just like, have you ever really seen a beautiful person like in person? You know, and I was in New York and I was at an industry party and I saw Cassie. I've never seen a woman more beautiful in my life. And for a woman to be like, yeah, I'm a 9, I'd be like, you're crazy. You are delusional to think that you could stand next to a woman like that. It's like, if more women realistically said, hey, I'm a 5 or 6, go get you a 5'6" man. He's gonna love the hell out you. But you want an 8'9" man. And that's where the delusion comes in.
That's where the delusion comes in. At you're a 5 or 6, you want an 8 or 9 man. Shoot these 3s and 4s and 2s and 3s and 4s.
Exactly. I mean, there's a thing going on where all these overweight women want men that are fit. She's like, oh, I want a fit man. It's like, but you're not fit. Like, prime example, I just had a lady say hello to me on a dating app. She probably weighed 350 pounds. I'm like, what about me thinks that I would be like, yes, let's talk? I don't get that. I mean, it's just I send him to Trey all the time because Trey's an advocate for men. You know, she understands it. You know, I said, look at this. We're trying to talk to me. You know, it's like, again, I'm not nobody special, but we don't match. We don't. There's no way. If I was walking to a restaurant, you would look and be like, what did she do to get him? You're like, that's not how this works. Well, everybody has a type. Do I look like I would date a woman that weighed 300 plus pounds? No.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm just saying, some women don't even check themselves. Okay, prime example. If I was out and I saw Cassie and she was a regular chick, I'm probably not going to speak to her because I'm already thinking, boy, she probably costs a lot of money, and I got to check my pockets, you know. And if my pockets don't match up with the women, the beauty of her, that I can't shower her and do the things I want, or that she's probably used to getting, I'm not even gonna waste my time.
Trey, that is for you. I see you commenting here. So I don't know. Where did I do with the? Let me put it back in here. Here it is. Let me pin the message here. You should be able to find it now, Trey. I see you commenting, so it's on you to jump up whenever you get a chance. All right, so fetish perhaps. There's some ladies who are larger, who are fetishized, and they think that maybe you're one of those people that fetishize them.
If that was the case, I'd lead with it in my bio. Like, BBWs, please apply. It's like I don't get it.
What about this idea that you got to work her out and make her lose weight, and you got to help her to get where she's got to get and get to goal? I had an argument. Well, not an argument. I had a heated discussion with a friend of mine who's trying to tell me you should do that. And I'm like, no, brother. No.
No. Would you meet a broke woman and be like, let me build you up and make you rich? No, you wouldn't. No. Like, who's gonna? I don't know.
All right, let's get to this video here, you and Trey. So this came from the last week's show. This is titled from the New You Nation, Dating After Divorce. And we started to talk about the elder, somebody's father, somebody's rapper father.
Jim Jones' mama.
Jim Jones' mama, right. Okay. So Jim Jones' mama is dating some 30-year-old, and she's like 60 or close to 70. And so this kind of sparked this whole type of conversation. Doc Thunder's in the house. Welcome. Appreciate you. Let's see. Older men and older women can't compete with younger women on a physical level. The average young man will not have the conversation as an older man. Yeah, and most women want to have nice conversations, right? They want to have these deep, long, philosophical conversations, and they generally can't do that with these types of men. Here we go. We're gonna play this here.
Because we don't sip on tea because it ain't strong enough. Let's bring this to the stage.
Sorry, I play it faster so I can get through. I'll slow it down here.
let's talk about, this is Mama Jones, Jen Jones' mama, and her little boyfriend. So there was a comment on the first picture where one of the viewers said, "Beautiful awakening." The real Mama Jones said, "Beautiful awakening. It feels so good to wake up to something like this. I hope you guys can wake up to something like this beautiful too." And one of the people in the comments said, "He looks like Jim. Is that your younger son?" And Mama Jones said, "No, that's my man." So, Lamar, what do you think about this?
Well, listen, there's clearly a movement going on that older, mature women are not getting picked by their peer group of men. And now they are going down and trying to play the game that men do. This does not work out for women. You guys can try it, but it does not work out for you because you guys are not built for this. So this will be fun for a little while. Mama Jones has got to be, what, 60 now?
She older than 60, baby. Come on, I'll be 60 in 4 years.
Okay, let's just say she's 60. Let's just say
no, she ain't 60, because how old is Jim Jones?
He's probably about 43, 44.
I'm looking this up because Jim Jones.
So let's say this guy is 35. How long does she think that this is going to? This is a very short season.
Jim Jones is 49, so she got to be going on 70.
That guy's wrong for even wanting that old beat up old kitty. What is attracted for him to go yes? Because her shelf life is done. I mean, she.
All right, we'll get back to that. Trey, what's up? Glad to see you.
Hey,
Thank you so much for joining.
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
You guys know what's going on. You look fine. So you joined in pretty early. Tell us your thoughts thus far about what Lamar and I have
feedback.
discussed.
Y'all don't hear that? Oh,
no, I don't hear any feedback.
Oh, probably. Hold on. Let me turn off my computer. That's what I hear. Hold on for 1 second.
He said he wants a record deal.
There we go.
AB Media's in the house.
Sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
Hey.
What is going on? How's your sound now? Is it better?
Sounds better, yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. So I wanted to give you a little bit of time. Lamar and I have talked a little bit. I want to hear your discussions about what we have discussed thus far, the videos that we played.
Wait, why do I keep hearing it?
That's right. Sugar Mama Yoli.
Okay, there we go. It was in 2 browsers. I'm like, oh my God. I know I'm smart at this. I think some of the stuff y'all said was relevant and some of it was BS.
Okay.
What's the BS part? I want to know the BS part.
No, I believe that, there are some women who give bad advice. And unfortunately, that one video where the woman was saying that women are not willing to accept their age, a lot of that is because some of the stuff y'all be saying. That older women, y'all are done and all of this and all of that. It puts a stigmatism on older women, and it also causes older women insecurities and different things like that when older men say things like that. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? When y'all are saying, oh, the young girls we go on the young girls and this and that, and then you have women on here coming and they trying to compete with these younger girls when they really shouldn't have to. When the woman was saying, if you know who you are intellectually, y'all were agreeing. If you as a 50-year-old woman know who you are intellectually, let me zip myself up for.
I thought you were trying to be young for a minute there. Go ahead.
I'm 55. No. Listen, one thing about me, I embrace my age. My camera's crazy because it's on my computer camera. But I embrace my age because I'm happy with who I am. I take care of myself. I go to the gym. I try to basically eat right. Right now I'm working, I'm editing and doing stuff, so I look crazy, but I clean up well. So I don't worry about the young girls because they have nothing on me. And men are talking about, older women have these requirements and they want men to pay for this and pay for that. So do the young girls. but y'all willing to pay for them, and y'all make all these excuses up of why y'all are willing to pay for them. Oh, they're young and they're vital and this and that and that and this and this. You still giving them your money, so y'all sound like simps and suckers, as my boy Lamar would say. I'm stealing his words. So when y'all talking about y'all don't want to put out for older women because older women coming with these demands, younger women are too, and y'all are willing to pay for the pussy. Excuse me, Lord, for my mouth.
Here we go.
But the fact of the matter is that's what y'all doing. Y'all play the game, but y'all think that we dumb when we have demands, but you're willing to pay for ass from these younger women, but shun us when we have some requirements for y'all. Because we too old to play games at 50 years old with a 50 above man who talking about what he ain't gonna pay. Well, keep moving. Keep it moving. We don't want you either. Sips my tea.
But the thing is not paying. A 55-year-old woman is not going to be attracted by the same things that a 30-year-old woman would, because the end all goal of a man is physical contact. That's just the fact of the matter. We are led by physical. So if you are a 55-year-old woman and you are okay with being physical, you're probably not going to get a guy closer to your age. No, I don't want to mess with a 30-year-old. But I also don't want to hear the excuses from a 55-year-old either. That she's not going to do this, she's not going to do that, or you're going to make me wait and all this other stuff. That's where the game gets skewed, because women lead with beauty and men lead with money. You guys like the money, so that's what we lead with. We like the beauty. That's what you guys lead with. And that's why the judgment is there. So when the beauty starts to fade, you can't command the money that you once probably did.
But you can't complain about women not wanting to age when what you're saying right now makes us not want to age, makes us not embrace our age, because now you're beautiful. You're not beautiful anymore because you're aging, so you can't demand anything. That's bullshit.
It's not saying that you're not beautiful. It's that you have to reality look at where you are attractive to. Now, most women, and I tell you all the time, Trey, you are in the upper 20% because you do take care of yourself. You do go to the gym. You do understand what men are talking about. The other 80% is what everyone focuses on, men and women. The 80% is what makes us do the things that we're doing. You have choices, Trey. If we put you in a room with 55-year-old women, you're in the upper echelon. But that bottom 80% can't be 300 pounds talking about why don't you like me? That's where the problem lies.
I was just on with a friend of mine. He FaceTimes all the time. And the first time he FaceTimed me, I was just like, I didn't put the camera on. I was like, I'm not putting my camera because I'm working right now. Like, I'm really editing. I've been at it all day. I found this new app, Lamar. You heard our new theme song?
Yeah.
I wrote that.
Oh, you did?
Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But I'm in here working, and he was like, put your camera on. And I was like, nah. He was like, and I put my camera on. He was like, you look good. Just like that. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see made up eyelashes and all of that. But society makes women feel that way. Like, I'm not putting on my FaceTime. Like, I'm on right now because I don't really care. Because, again, I clean up well. I know what I look like when I dress up. And I know that every other young girl and every other woman, Beyonce, Cassie, and I'm not saying Cassie's not a beautiful woman, but they get up and they have a makeup artist. Women get up every day and they put on makeup and eyeliner. I'm not doing all of that. When you see me at the supermarket, you're going to see me at the supermarket. And I'm not saying I go out and I be looking crazy, because I am looking for a husband. Anybody? But I don't go out looking crazy. But I'm okay with my natural state. I'm okay with my gray hair. I'm okay with my ponytail. I'm okay with the way that I look. But society makes older women feel insecure, feel like the clock is ticking and nobody's going to want us. I don't believe that. And I do believe that we have to be real with ourselves. We have to be real and understand, you're not a 10. I don't know very many 10s. I don't know very many 10 men.
I don't know very many 9 women or 9 men.
Okay, so I don't know very. I know that when I go do a photo shoot and I have a makeup artist and I have a stylist, they make me a 10.
So
But I know
so
on a
Trey,
regular basis, ain't none of us a 9 or a 10. Very
so
few.
one of the things that we talked about is this delusion about what people are having. And somebody just chimed in and said delusional about what? I tried to adjust the title of this. We're talking about delusional in their dating expectations, etc. So you talked about being made up or some ladies in their expectations, you know, are these quote unquote threes and fours? I know some ladies don't like the rating system. Are they setting themselves up for failure when they think that they deserve something that they're not? Are they truly delusional? Are they lying to themselves? Do they really look in the mirror and say, "Man, I am really a 10 when I'm really grossly overweight, no hair, all this stuff." What is going on mentally with a lot of these ladies?
Let me say this. There are women who were overweight, right? Who are skinny now, right? There are mental illnesses. And I just want to be real right now. And, Tammy Roman, she talks openly about her struggle with body image. And she's very, very thin right now. She was beautiful when she was thick, right? She's very, very thin. But she looks in the mirror. She don't see beauty. She sees that she's still fat. So there's some big fat women, excuse me, big fat women, because I know y'all gonna come for me. I'm not knocking y'all, but there's some big fat women out here that think they fly. Like they really believe that they're fly, and they are in their own sense. Just like if you look at people's kids, their kids is ugly, right? We look at somebody. No, let me be real with y'all. No, listen. You look at somebody's kid, and their kid is ugly to you. But do you think to that parent that their beautiful newborn, toddler, 12-year-old is ugly? I look at my children, I think my children are beautiful, but to somebody else, they might be ugly. So a woman looking in the mirror at 500 pounds or at 140 pounds, not attractive, but got a banging body, could be delusional to some sense because your body don't match your face.
But they can't look at Beyonce. They can't look at Jennifer Lopez. They can't look at, you name the hottest person and say that I'm really in this particular league. They can't be really doing that.
No, they really looking at themselves in the mirror. And they really, no, I'm telling you, there are some people who are really looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, I talk to my girls all the time and I say, not that we gossip, but we have our talks when we see certain people online. And we say, she ain't got no friends. Because who let her go outside like that? But there are people, they do have friends, but their friends can't tell them nothing because they think they fly. I'm telling you, I see women who really are dressed inappropriately. And I'm not even talking about fat women only. I'm talking about a thin woman with a gut, with a tight dress on, and she look like an ant, but she thinks she fly.
I don't think women are honest with each other in friendships. I don't. I think there's a very small percentage of friendships that women are really honest. Because you can go like, "You look horrible in that," and the first thing a woman's going to be like, "Ooh, that's mean." Y'all lean on the mean and not the purpose. It's like, listen, you are. I mean, prime example. When I go out with my fellas, those guys are a representative of me. So it's up to me to look at these guys and go, listen, dog, we don't do this. I had a guy one time that he's I always say he got his pink thing out. He's always chasing women. It's like I can't stand in a group with you when every woman that walks by, you go, hey, 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 hey. Now I'm getting lumped into it. So it's my responsibility to tell you as a man, stop doing that or I walk away. It's a woman's responsibility to tell her friends, this is not flattering for you. Stop doing this. You can be big, but you're wearing clothes that a size 4 or size 6 is going to wear. Like, I don't understand women.
But women, let me tell you this about women. We know which one of our friends ain't going to receive it well. Like, we got friends that we have codes with my friends. Like, you got something else to wear? You know what I'm saying? Not like you look bad, but we'll say, you got something else to wear, to let our friend know, maybe not that. But we also have friends that we know that we can't be honest with because they're going to have an attitude or they think they fly. So you just got to let them people go and do their thing.
So Jayla's saying, are we still talking about aesthetics in our age group? Yawn. I mean, I don't think that goes away, and I think that's part of the problem as you start to talk about, Trey, is that these ladies are doing what they're doing, dressing the way that they're dressing, trying to keep up with the latest dances because they're trying to keep up with aesthetics. I don't think it stops. I don't think,
No.
particularly for the 40 and 50-year-olds, it probably won't stop till the 70-year-olds, and soon they won't stop either.
But it doesn't stop because the reality of a situation is men are visual creatures. Not only men, but women. When we are single, so it's not a yawn. When we are single, we don't know who we're dealing with intellectually until we get to know them. And we meet people when we look at, we say, "Oh, Lamar is cute. I want to get to know him. I'm gonna walk over here. I hope he come over here and talk to me." So we always start with the aesthetics. We're human, so we can't say yawn and act like this. I'm tired of people talking about aesthetics and this and that, because the reality of the situation is the first thing we see is each other in the human form, and not our mentality, and not our conversation, and not our interests. Even on dating sites, when you go on a dating site, I'm not clicking on a dude's page that got a beer belly and his beard is not manicured and he look crazy. I'm clicking on a fine brother because that's what I'm looking at. I don't know, and I'm gonna look at his interests, but all of us want to be attracted to the person that we're gonna be with. So we got to stop playing games like we don't want to be attracted to that person.
That's fat girl talk. So I'm just saying, if you get offended by that, I'm sorry, because people that go to the gym every day, they're not necessarily doing it for aesthetics. That's a byproduct of it. At 50 and older, you should be caring about your health, and being able just to bend over and pick up something. But if you consistently do it, you are going to develop muscles if you go to the gym 4 days a week. It's just a process. So the aesthetic part of it is just not, and men are visual. That's the whole point. If you want to attract a man, you have to look good. It's like, go to the gym, do your hair right, do your makeup right, because men are visual.
And vice versa. Women can play these lovey games and, I want a man for his personality. But that's BS. We as women, that's BS. And I'm going to call it like it is. When we initially are out dating, if we go to a event, whether it is charity event, a bar, club, a cigar, wherever we going to mix and mingle, we're looking for a man that's attractive. Ain't no woman, like y'all said, women are delusional. Why do we know they're delusional? Because they're trying to get with a man that's very attractive and they're not. So let's not sit on here as women acting like we're not going out looking for the fine guy with the nice body or the decent body, because we are. So it is, unfortunately, the initial attraction is on the outside, and we just have to be honest about that. And we can't be, like y'all said, thinking that we're going to pull somebody that's, flyer than we are, because we're not. Like, people who take care of themselves and people who look a certain way, a man is looking for a decent woman to have on his arm when he walks in a room.
So this will be controversial. Do you guys think, a lot of us are in the second half of our life, second relationship, second marriage, potentially? Is it fair to say that you don't necessarily get to upgrade tremendously from what you had previously?
No, you do. If you have upgraded tremendously.
So it's predicated on you first. If you're
not downgrading.
What I'm saying is, if you've done no work on yourself and whatever your baby daddy was, let's just say you haven't done any work on yourself, do you think you deserve much better than your baby daddy if you've done no work? Now, if you've done the work, going to the gym, going to therapy, do all these things, and to your peer group and your friends now that You aren't even the same you. I think that's when you get to upgrade.
Kevin would say that you don't deserve anything above your baby daddy, period.
I would agree. You know, but if you haven't done any work, now you may have learned a lesson from that man, and now you're in a gym where you're friends. You don't even look the same. You don't act the same. You're a new person. Now
But first of all, wait, let's shift the dynamic a little bit. How can you say that a woman doesn't deserve better than her baby daddy if the baby daddy was the problem and the relationship dissolved? Like, how do you even say a woman never deserves better than her baby daddy?
I think you have to do the work. I don't think that you're going to go catch a different fish using the same bait.
But if the bait was the dead bait and you found out it was the bait that was the problem, if you find out that the man was the problem,
I mean,
Well, the man would be the fish. The man would be the fish.
the man's the fish. So you are the bait. You're the bait.
How could you say that a woman doesn't deserve a better fish if the
say you
fish
don't
was
deserve-
rotten?
I'm not saying no. The fish is the fish. You are the bait in this. The only controlled variable in this is you. So you don't get to. If you drove a Honda Accord your whole life, you don't go get a Bentley unless something changes. Your money, your career, you save some money, you won some money. Something has to change for you to go from here to here.
That's any person. That's not just a woman.
No, it's any person. I'm not saying a woman. I'm saying anything. But that's what I'm saying. But too many times women have babies with men and then think that they're supposed to get 10 times better. Why?
Listen, I have children, right, with men. And none of my baby daddies are bums, of course, because I wouldn't be with a bum. But when I was with let's just use my ex-husband, for example. I had a kid with him because I thought the marriage was going to last. Right? So how do you say that I don't deserve something equal to him or better because our marriage didn't last?
I didn't say you equal. Yes, you absolutely. But if you have done work on yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, now you get to go to the next playing field.
Right.
Anything, man or woman, you do not get to upgrade if you are the same person that you just left.
Right. You're not going to upgrade because you're going to attract the same thing because your mentality is the same.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly.
So, and if you do attract something above, you're not going to keep them.
So a woman in a scenario that will say she's above average attractive, been with somebody 10 years. Now she's back out there 10 years. In her mind, she still thinks she's the same as 10 years ago. And she should get everything that she got 10 years ago.
And that was the first video that I played. Is
That's
this
the
woman who had been married for 30 years. Now she wants to go back out there and has the same expectations.
You can't get the same. You can't. You can't go trade in your 2000 Honda and think you're going to get today at 2025 and get 2000 prices. It doesn't work that way. Not from a visual marketplace.
It depends on her status in life.
Men don't care about status. We're visual. We care about visual first. We care about peace and femininity first. It's not.
Well, I don't care. You can care about peace and femininity. You going with a younger woman, she gonna wreck your damn nerves. So if you're looking for peace, you're looking in the wrong place. Because she only gonna be peaceful for a short amount of time.
Some young women know how to play their position. I didn't date. I stopped dating younger because I could not offer them the life that they wanted.
But what you're not realizing is we were all young at one point. Every woman that you are dealing with, that just say she's 35. In 5 years, she's going to be 40. What do you think is happening to her? You are downgrading her as the years pass. If what you're saying to me is true. So every year, every 5 years, or every 10 years, you're going to go have to get somebody younger because that woman is turning into me.
No, but she,
Oh, we're not saying
no, no. If I'm 53, in 5 years I'm 58. In 5 years she's 40 from 35. If she's feminine, if she's doing the things that I need her to do, the relationship stays. I don't trade in women every couple of years because they get old. I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, that's not what men are trying to do. What men are trying to do is go down far enough on the scale where they hit the woman that brings them peace, that's feminine, and she looks good. That's all we care about.
Okay, let me explain something to y'all about women.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold that thought there. Kosher, I just want to get he put this up there. Women don't dictate the market. They must become or get left behind. Most men are wired for younger women. It's biological. They had their turn. I want to say thank you for the 777. That's got to mean something. I don't know what it means.
I was gonna say, what's that mean?
I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to get that in there. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that what y'all don't understand about women is it doesn't have anything to do with her age. You can have a woman that's 35 and you can find out 3 years in, she got a nasty attitude. People's personalities change for different reasons. Things happen in relationships. It doesn't have anything to do with our age. And how you treat a woman as a man is going to say everything about how she matures and develops in that relationship. So if you're not treating her well, or you just think because she's cute and you got her on your arm, after a while she gonna look at you and be like, this is not beneficial to me. And you're getting on her nerves. Women have an attitude at all different ages. Y'all are acting like, I remember when I was 25, I would get into different arguments with my significant other. I remember I was 35. People have disagreements. People have personality flaws. And
What was the age dynamics of you and your husband?
My ex-husband was 9 years older than me.
That's a good age.
Right, but then
so you recognize that you were probably the one that needed to get on his plan and grow more.
But he had issues too.
True, but for the most part, we all have issues, but for the most part, he did the things that needed to get done. And over time, he was going to grow as a man, which would have allowed you to rest more in being feminine as you grew. Somewhere along the line, maybe the signals got crossed and whatever the case may be. Those things can happen. But when you create a dynamics, a minimum of 7 years, it creates a level of admiration between a man and a woman. That's why men like younger women. It doesn't necessarily, most women go with this 50 to 30 or 50 to 20. That's too much. All you need is 7 years. It creates a dynamic that a woman looks at a man with admiration and respect.
So let me ask this question. The last 3 relationships y'all was in, right? Why did they end?
Because they didn't get on my plan.
Dr. L, the last 3, why did the relationship end?
So one was, I would have echoed Lamar's point. One wasn't on my plan. Other one was just difficulty with the kids, and I'm trying to think of the third one. Probably it's just the same thing. Wasn't on my plan. Wasn't where I needed to go. Just I had a vision where I wanted to be, where I wanted to go, how I was going to get there, and it just didn't want to work out with that.
And how old were the last 3 women you were with, Lamar?
42, 44, and 35.
So they weren't in their 50s. So you can't say it's
I'm not dating nobody in my 50s. I already made that clear. Them women, that mentality is.
Hold on, I'm making a point here. The problem wasn't women over 50, because all of the women that you just talked about were the women that you said were 6 years younger than you, 7 years younger than you, the ideal age for an older man. It didn't work out because they sucked.
No, they didn't. I have a plan. I have a plan to get and come into my world. There's a plan. It's going to be run a certain way. And if you are not coachable, and I'm 7 to 10 years older than you, then we're not talking about. I was with
Okay, so
some,
well, you're talking about younger women, not older women that are not coachable. You're talking about younger women that are not coachable. So the
women in
problem is
general aren't
not
coachable.
age.
Most women
So,
aren't.
so Trey, what is your idea of a guy? Lamar and I are roughly the same age, you know, in the mid-50s, early to mid-50s. What would you say that we need or should be looking for in a mate? What age group would you say that the people our age, mid-50s, early 50s, should be
I
looking
say
for in a
45 and up.
45 and up?
Okay, so she's got to be feminine, she's got to be fit, and she's got to be cooperative. Do you know how many 45-year-old women and up don't meet that criteria?
You know how many 45 women and under don't meet that criteria, just like the three you
But
talked about.
I would take the chance with the 45 and under because she's going to be more attractive. That's just the reality
But
of it.
that's just the three that you talked about. Even though they were more attractive, you still wasted your time.
Yeah, they had other problems that I thought that could be fixed. You know, that's the reason why today I don't date women with kids anymore. I just don't. Your kids got to be older.
But I just want y'all to be open to view the perspective of looking at people as individuals instead of a number, as individuals past a age bracket. And I'm not saying nobody like Jim Jones' mother should be doing none of that. I'm just saying looking past the stigmatism or looking past the stereotype that women over 50 are undateable. Generation X is not true.
Not saying they're
Well,
not undateable.
we're not. I don't think that was the point.
We're not
What
saying they're not dateable.
what for a 55 for a person your age group, we're all roughly the same age, what are you looking for? Women generally, I'm speaking generalities, as Lamar said, look for men who are older than them, who have some wisdom to impart. What is it? What type of man, in addition to age, would you be attracted to? Would you consider giving your number? And what would be too young for you for a long-term relationship?
Anybody under 45 is out of the question. I don't even want to deal with nobody under 45. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a person that's just as tired as BS as I am. I'm looking for somebody who's mature, who knows how to communicate. We got a problem, that's the problem, okay, we good. I'm looking for somebody who is their own individual person, whole on their own. So if I left tomorrow, I'm not taking a piece of you because you came in whole. You was living, you was breathing, and all of those other things. I'm looking for somebody who's confident in who they are, who's financially stable, who takes care of himself, not because I'm looking for aesthetics, but I do want to be attracted to the man that I'm with. And I want him to be healthy. And I want him to be willing to be healthy. And I want him to be honest and respectful, not to me, but to himself. Because if he's honest, respectful, and loyal to himself, I don't have to worry about him. I don't want no man outside embarrassing me.
What how I mean, what is this attraction thing? I think that's fairly a new thing because uh October is saying this too. Most men aren't handsome to begin with when they're younger. Y'all are not ranking higher in looks as you age. I mean, are men not attractive? What's up with this?
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Okay.
I've seen some.
That doesn't. And again, we're talking in very generalities. That
Right.
doesn't matter to women. Money matters. Financial stability matters to a woman. That is number one, number two on every one of your lists. So a man has to lead with beauty and being feminine. That is on the
Wait
list.
a minute, money is not on the top of the list. We don't want. Listen, I'm just saying. We want a man that's financially stable and able to take care of himself.
No, you
on
don't.
A level,
you want
yes,
more.
We do.
You want more. You're not going to marry the guy working at Home Depot. You're not.
I would.
We've already established you are in this small ass percentage. We're talking the other 80% of women. They're not even looking at the guy.
You're talking about the other 30% of women, Generation X.
No. The percentage, there's 20% and up, men and women, that have done the work, that stand out. You put them in a room and you go like, they look good for their age. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the other 70 to 80% down low. I challenge every woman, pretend to be a man and go on a dating site and interact with women and see how you feel about women after that.
I already don't like women.
I know you don't. You got 3 sons. I know that. You are the anomaly. That's why we love you. But your sisters are delusional.
No, the reason I'm not saying I don't like women. Women get on my nerves because I coach women.
And what are you hearing? What are you hearing?
What are you hearing?
They want to fix the man instead of coming to work on themselves. So when I'm coaching, I tell them, I leave the man out of the equation. What about you? We're here to work on you, because when you are the best, highest version of yourself in a relationship, you're going to bring the best out in that man. And if the best doesn't come out of that man, you shouldn't be with him. But then there's this arguing back and forth. And I'm like, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to tell you, be the best, highest version of yourself. And if
I want to dig into that. I want to dig into the argument. So they're arguing with you about becoming the best version of themselves and saying the men are the problem. The men don't want me, right? That's part of the delusion that we're talking about. It's not us. It's not me. It's this man over here who.
It's not delusion. Okay, this is where we're going to correct the conversation. We can take the title off of delusion and make it accountability. It's not delusion. It's I don't want to be accountable for my part and what I need to fix before I'm even in a relationship. Because a lot of women come to me, and the ones whose marriages are thriving, because I've had women come to me whose husbands have cheated on them and have come to the realization that from working with me, not me telling them this, that I am part of the reason why my husband cheated, because I don't sleep with my husband. But coming in early into the sessions, they were arguing and blaming the man for cheating. And I'm like, cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. There's something going on in your house that caused the cheating happen. There was something wrong long before the cheating happened. And once we break that barrier and we start talking about the relationship dynamic, the conversation, do you compliment your husband? Are you sleeping with your husband? What are you expecting from your husband? When he comes home from work, is he happy to see you? When he walks through the door, are you complaining? Once we start to sit down and break it down piece by piece and get that accountability piece in there of cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. 2 people are responsible for the breakdown in the relationship, not just your husband, your boyfriend. You're responsible for some part of that. And when we got through to that, it was like, oh, yeah, well, sometimes when he come home, he works 14 hours and the house is not clean, or I'm tired. And I'm like, or I'm going through menopause. And I'm like, you cannot cut your husband off from sex because you're going through menopause. Because if you do, he's going to go get sex from somewhere else. But nobody's supposed to cheat. No, you're not being realistic. You're not being accountable for the fact that you're not sleeping with your husband and his needs are not being met. So if a man is in the desert long enough, he'll drink piss.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's get back to a little bit more of this video here on that drinking piss.
I'm thirsty.
She's got to be what, 65 now?
I'm looking it up right now. She got to be 70 if Jim Jones is 50.
Yeah, I mean, well, she probably had him when she was like 14 or 15. She's a hood rat. She looked like it. I've seen her.
So let's say he's 50.
So let's just say she's 65 to 70. She's somewhere in there. He gonna get a hip broken or something. She ain't doing nothing that this young dude wants. And just because it's a season, this is no long term. He's looking at her like, buy me a PlayStation, buy me this, buy me that, take care of this. She is buying because the roles are now reversed. Men don't have a problem paying because we've been paying for everything our whole life. So that's why we go get a younger girl, because you older women know that if I give you $300 to a 55-year-old, you'd be like, $300? I get $300 to a 25-year-old, that's way different reaction. We ain't seen no money like that. So y'all not gonna win at this game. So this is just a season that some YNs is gonna jump up and down on y'all, and then y'all realize that they don't like y'all. Just as men understand, these young girls don't really like us, but we got to pay to play.
Hold on, let me just tell you, these YNs ain't gonna jump up and down on us. These YNs gonna jump up and down on her. Because a lot of us, we don't even want to deal with that nonsense because we dealt with it with y'all. So good evening, October. It's nice to see you.
I've seen a lot of it. I seen a little thing. I don't know if I sent it to you, but another chick. She's talking about the young YNs and getting their BBLs and all this other stuff. It's like, God, this is not female are not built to do man things. And when you start doing these things and having sex and casually and doing these things, it don't work out for y'all.
I just think that I have nothing against somebody dating somebody older or younger than them. I just think that there's a limit. And for a 70-year-old to be with a 30-year-old or 35-year-old, I think that's just ridiculous for a man or a woman. And I just feel like if this was a man, he would be being called all kind of names. Mm-hmm. But since it's a woman, it's like,
yeah, empowered. Go, you go, girl. But if it's a man that's 70 and the woman's 35, now he's creepy. He's controlling her. That's the double standard. So it's like these YNs are gonna have fun with some of these older women that've been alone for a long time and they're not getting chose. So if
somebody was saying he just got out of jail.
Oh, but he's looking for a come up. It's like it's like if you can't go, if whatever age you are, if you can't go 5 years up and 5 years down and find a companion, and you have to go outside of that, you're going to compromise yourself. And as long as you understand it, what the game is, that's why men are not afraid to play the game. Women paying for stuff and getting treated like that, y'all not used to that. Y'all used to.
I wanted to kind of hone in on that. Do these older ladies feel as if they have to pay to be a part?
You lost track.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Hell yeah, everybody got to pay to play if you're going down. So I mean, this is it. Go ahead, Trey.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Do I think that women have to pay to play?
Right, because we're talking about Jim Jones or his mother being 70, and now she has to pay. There's always this joke in the red pill space about getting PlayStation 5s and whatever. There's a new game coming out, so I got to go get my sugar mama, right? So that type of talk.
I think that at that age, that big age difference, there's definitely the benefit for him, and especially if he's just getting out of jail or he comes from the hood and he hasn't had much. I think there's definitely a dynamic of knowing that there's Jim Jones' mother and that she's taking care of a certain way and that she can buy him belts, LV belts, because they're in that lifestyle. Like they want Louis Vuitton pants and stuff like that. So a YN like him, of course he's looking at her like, oh, I'm about to come up and get me, YN, the Louis Vuitton belt, the jackets. So anybody in that age group, even with men, when the age difference is that big, the other person is definitely using that person because there's no other reason
men
why.
Don't care. That's why you can see a Coach Belichick who's 70 years old with a 25-year-old. He knows if he did not have the money that he has, she would not be there. Men are okay with that. I find it difficult that an older woman in the same scenario is going to understand that.
I'm sure that Mama Jones know that little boy is with her for the purpose. And if she don't, she's delusional.
She thinks she loves him. She gets the best kitty ever.
No.
What are your thoughts about some of these ladies who have, I don't want to say wasted their youth, but they didn't. They kind of they got their educations. They were balling out of control, doing all that, and now after a certain age, let's just say that they're 40, 45 or so, and now they're reaching back and trying to get these guys who have prison records, guys who don't have it's a thing. I work with people like that. So what are your thoughts about that? Going after those types of guys who are somehow compromised. What are your thoughts about that?
I would think that would be like a power trip if you wasted your youth. And I feel sorry for women who thought they couldn't have a family, a career, all of it at the same time. I feel sorry for those people, but any woman that's going after a jailbird, excuse me, jailbirds, I love y'all, but see, y'all making me sound bad. Any woman
we're trying not to.
I'm not judging a jailbird because people can change, but if you fret going after somebody who shows no potential, and because you're at a certain status and you think that the time clock is ticking, I think that's trifling. Because if it was the other way around, everybody would be mad at that man. If he was going based on his biological clock and he was doing things like that, people would be like, "Oh my God, he's terrible." So
And he's abusing her. So as somebody said, he's taking advantage of her. If this was a guy, he's taking advantage of her. She don't have anything, so she got to do all these sex trips in order to keep this man around. So it's just really kind of a power dynamic
I think that's a
switch.
power struggle. If you go to get somebody that you think is beneath you for any reason, I think that's manipulative and a power struggle.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've never been with a younger woman for any type of control. It's just that I have a career that makes me live in a space of being younger. You know, there's things that are movies, music, clothing, fashion that a 53-year-old, most 53 years don't know. So because of my career,
Yeah,
I deal with younger people. So when I was 45 and I was dating a 22-year-old, it wasn't because she was young. It was because we were in the same industry and my job was my job, and she understood that. And after
I get
four,
it.
but again, after dating her for 4 years, it took me. I loved her. I did. I wanted to build a house for her and everything, but I knew that she wasn't ready to be what I needed. So I allowed her. I broke up with her, and I said, "Go figure life out. Go have some experiences, and come back." I said, "The only stipulation is you can't get pregnant. Don't get any kids." She was away from me a year pregnant. She came
Wow.
back. She came back last year. The baby's 3 years old now. Can we try? You're not even the same person anymore. I don't even look at you the same way anymore. You're damaged goods. You're 30 years old. You have a 3-year-old. Why would I want you now?
When you talk about the power dynamic, right? So a lot of these ladies who are older, more mature, are not are probably not meeting their mental. Well, let's say that, but let me put it like this: are they able to meet their match as far as what they were looking for? But the men don't want them because of the high power positions that they're in, and therefore they feel as if they can't control the relationship, right? They, a lot of times women are, we're speaking generally now, women want someone that they can look up to in some way. And so they got this guy in their job. Maybe he's a corporate CEO, she's a manager, corporate CEO, whatever. And the guy doesn't want that because he's looking at her and saying, I want somebody who I can lead in some way. And shit, maybe she doesn't feel as if she can be led. Therefore, she goes to the jailbird conversation, right? So I'm just asking, is it a lot of times these ladies not able to connect with or they may be attracted to this type of guy, but the guys aren't attracted to them? How would you deal with that?
I don't think that's necessarily true. That's just impatience. Like, you just got to go to the right places. I mean, if it's a CEO in your job, you don't want to shit where you eat anyway.
True.
But you just have to go to different places to meet somebody that's on your level, or maybe a little below your level, but not beneath you. Because I don't want, nobody should be dating somebody's potential at our age. None of us, man or woman. So I just think that we have to be strategic in what we do.
Well, how would you suggest that a woman, you mentioned going into different environments, maybe a different place, but what advice would you say to a woman to say you're a senior woman? How would you tell them to get this type of man that she thinks that she deserves with her education, with her boss chicory? How would you suggest that she attract this man, hook this man, and then get her to marry her? Is that even possible?
It is. I just think that, as Lamar says, you have to lead with your feminine side. You have to leave the title at home. When you are out, whether you're at a social event, whether you're at a charity event, wherever you are socializing, whether it's church, so many women come now with that masculine energy. They don't know how to take it off. So this is why they can't attract the type of man that they want, because no man, no real man, masculine man, we're not talking about simps and all of that, wants an aggressive woman. Like nobody does, you know, and a lot of times women walk in the rooms rah-rahed up. Their stance, like there's a way to be soft and confident. And a lot of women who are in corporate high-end positions, C-suites and all of that, and leadership, they don't know how to take that off when they walk in the room. And a man can smell that on you when you walk in that room, no matter how fly you are, no matter how nice that suit is, your energy will lead that man to walk away. So you have to learn how to come in soft. You have to learn how to take that hat off and leave it at the door. Go ahead, Lamar.
So I see it in the comments. October was asking a question about me dating a 22-year-old. How did her father feel? Initially, her father did not like it, but he respected it. You know, I think at the end of the day, I have a 27-year-old daughter, and if she was dating a 50-year-old man right now, I think the first thing I'm going to look for is he going to be respectful towards me? Is he going to provide what my daughter needs? It has nothing to do with sex. And I think too many times we lead with sex. Is that I think as a father, first and foremost, when you have a daughter, you want to make sure she's safe. Can this man protect her? I don't care if he's 27 or 57. Can he protect her? Can he provide for her? And can he teach her things? So I think the woman at 22, her father, they had a strained relationship anyway. So she wasn't looking for acceptance. So a lot of these women, you know, that do date older, they have daddy issues. You know, I've run across tons of them. That's not something that I prey on. That's nothing that I want to talk to a woman that I identify. When I identify you have daddy issues, you're not going to figure your daddy issues out with me. You're just not. I'm not that guy. But it wasn't that weird because the dynamics of her being 22 and me at 45, I was really 32 because of my career. You know, it's hard for me to connect with my peer group because because of the daily things that with music and movies and clothing and things like that, it's hard for me to connect with a 53-year-old. It just is because they're just getting older. My job doesn't allow that. So that's what it was. So I just want to make sure October got that.
No, I get it too because I'm tech savvy. I was just talking to a friend of mine. He was just like, one of the sexy things about you, outside of women your age, is that because we talk about what I'm doing, like my podcast, the network, and because I've always been in the industry, so I know how to navigate social media. I know how to edit. I know how to produce. I live a certain lifestyle that's not that of the 55 and up. Like my sisters, they were different. My sisters are 2 and 3 years older than me. They're different on social media. Like they don't know. And
they could probably barely work their phone.
Right. Right. So when being in the industry that I'm in, that's the only reason why I know technology and how to move forward. So that's why my mentality is a little bit younger than a 60-year. That's why a 60-year-old man is not very attractive to me because I already know I'm not fixing your phone. I'm not helping you with your grandkids. I'm not scrolling. Like I know that I'm editing and I know that I'm producing and directing and I'm doing things. So the mentality is a little bit different when you are in different industries. So if it's two people in corporate, then the mentality is probably going to be the same.
So that's interesting. So a guy who is 60 you would not be attracted to a guy who's 60 because you think that he may not be tech savvy. Is that did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, not only tech savvy, but in the world that I'm in, like I don't want a man who doesn't have a certain style. And a 60-year-old man, no, I'm just being honest. This is just for me.
But
not all
go ahead,
60,
go ahead.
but most 60-year-olds have crossed over into a different generation of style of dress, of conversation, even conversation wise, the things that they knew. And that was the thing between me and my ex-husband. When I first started dating him, I was like 17 years old. I was 18 years old, and I'm sitting there with him and his friends, and they've all been to college. I'm just getting out of high school, and they having a conversation, and I'll never forget this. And I should have known then that this was probably wasn't going to work out. But I was just a young girl, and they were talking about Martin Luther King. And we were just having at his apartment, and there was a little set, and they were talking about Martin Luther King and the riots. And they were like, I remember when he got shot. And I was like, you remember that? Like, you saw that on TV? And they were like, yeah, because I was born 69. So they actually remember the march. They actually remember. I don't know. And I was just sitting there and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So even the conversation with a 60-year-old and the mentality, even with my ex-husband, he's very, with my children, he's never going to accept the world as it is. He is like his father. I don't believe in this. And the mentality is just, I am who I am. I'm not changing for anybody. I'm not evolving into the world. And that's what I'm talking about. Not only dressed, I'm talking about the whole mentality of a 60 and up year old man.
So when Lamar said that at his age he wouldn't be attracted to that, you can identify with what he's saying. He said, I mean, you said because of the world that you live in, your mentality, your youth, your vitality, you're out and doing things. So you can identify with Lamar when he
With
says,
Lamar, because he's an anomaly. He's in the entertainment business, but most men his age, Generation X, my age, should be able to relate to me. I didn't say a 55-year-old man or a 50-year-old man or 52.
But 5 years
I
is
said,
not that big of a deal.
no,
I mean, I know
that's a big
60-year-olds.
generation difference.
Okay.
That's crossing over.
I think
I
he's
never
out
dated a
there.
60-year-old man.
I think he's out there because I feel the technology thing slipping with me a little bit too, because I tell you that all the time, Trey, but I think he's out there. It's just that it is such a narrow point of view that you're going to have to be patient for if that's truly.
I'm not messing with him. I don't want a 60-year-old, so don't try
Well,
to
I'm just
convince
saying,
me.
I mean,
He's out there. No,
between
he's
55
not for me.
I think between
But
55.
what if you met a tech savvy man who was well dressed, well put together, in shape, everything else, but he's 60? Everything else that you're looking for, but he's 60. You still wouldn't date him because he's 60?
No, I would. I just don't think that that's going to happen. I would.
Hey,
What about
If it came
59?
to pass, I mean, I'm not saying I would be like, you're 60. I'm not dating you because you're 60. I'm just saying my age cutoff is a certain place because of what I've experienced with older people.
okay, so you can understand what I'm saying.
I can, but I can't understand what you're saying because you're my age.
Right.
So listen, listen. I can relate to you because we've watched the same cartoons. You send me Gen X stuff all the time.
Correct.
We can relate to each other. I'm saying, like, even with my niece, like my niece is an older millennial, right? Listen to me. My niece is an older millennial. The millennials younger than her are very different. They're nuts. But she has lived in a space where she knows about AOL, right? Because she was there for that. So we have to watch this. There's a line in the sand when generations and people are set in their ways or have lived a certain way. It's like dealing with a man, and I'm not saying I wouldn't date a man from down south, but the culture down there is different. We New Yorkers, even the culture is different for certain people that come to New Jersey. Like somebody coming from the South, we fast, we this, we that. And when we deal with somebody from the South, they're a little bit slower. So they can't kind of sort of relate to certain things. So that's all I'm saying. Like we got to look at people for what they are. And I'm not really interested in anybody over 60, period.
So look in the comments. October and Yoli are having their own little private thing. So they're not necessarily understanding. He said, yes, I have a different job. I am, like Trey said, I'm an anomaly. I am not the average 53-year-old. I'm not. And that allowed me to date tremendously younger. Now, we can all agree that 22 was a little too young. I learned that lesson, but that wasn't the initial thing that why I chose that woman. I chose her because we were compatible. We actually understood each other's job, and she wanted to learn something from me. She was very feminine. She was agreeable, and she was coachable. That's all that mattered. She didn't make no money. She didn't have no title. She didn't have nothing. I helped grow that woman. After that, I decided that she needed, because she showed something. She wanted to hang out a little bit. She was hanging out with some girls. I said, listen, if you're going to do these things.
Not much on the South.
Yeah, what? Oh, yeah. Killing the South. I'm a Southern boy, so calm
I'm
down.
not killing the South. I'm just saying. I'm just saying we city slickers up here. I'm from the hood.
I get it.
Jersey's faster. New Jersey, New York, up north, we a lot faster.
She said, listen, don't go down that path, October. I do not look 53 years old. I can date your daughter if I wanted to. So don't play them games. This will go real left real quick. So, 53-year-old women, if you take care of yourself, that's great. That's great. But the percentages, if you're in the 20% and I'm in the 20%, that don't mean we match. That means I have the options. Now, if you want to go and pay and do things, you have options too. But a 53-year-old woman in the gym all the time, taking care of herself, why would she want to date a man that's 40?
Trey, tell me what the average 50-year-old black woman or whatever woman, what they should be looking for in a man. Tell me that. What the average woman, 50 years old, should be looking for as their standards, their expectations. What is it that they should be looking for from a man?
We all have our preferences, right? You have to know what you want in a man. I told you what I want.
Hold on, let me just pause here for a second because I know that we want to. This is where the delusion comes in at. I'm talking about the average, what they should be looking for in a man. I understand preferences and things.
They should be looking for.
That's the problem, that they're looking for these preferences and things that we are saying.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now.
I'm talking about what should they be looking for
realistically. They should be realistically looking for their equal. Wherever you are in life right now, if you make $50,000 a year, you can't expect to get a man that make $200,000 a year. If you luck up and do, kudos to you, but you shouldn't be expecting that because you're not even in that circle of people. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're, and we're just using salary right now, but if you're making $50,000 a year, the circle that you're in is going $50,000 a year circle. You're not going to be in $200,000 rooms. So you shouldn't be expecting, if you're not in the gym taking care of yourself, right? Then you're not going to run into healthy people because you're not living a healthy lifestyle. So you should be expecting your equal at all times. If you're a 5 or a 6 or a 9 or a 10, but you got to be realistic with yourself, right? I'm not expecting certain things from a man that I can't provide for myself, because how dare I expect a man to come in and buy me a Bentley when I can't even afford a Chrysler? So how dare I expect things from a person that I can't give to myself? And that's where the delusion comes in. You're expecting something from people that you can't provide for yourself. You're expecting something from people that you don't look like yourself. So we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves.
Well, that's the whole key there, being honest with yourself. Lamar, tell me what you think about the average 15-year-old, 50-year-old man should be looking for.
He should be looking for someone who's feminine, someone who is healthy, someone who is coachable, and become his piece. Hopefully men don't need a lot. We really don't. And somewhere, I don't think a woman with a career, my ex-wife had a career, but she was feminine. She didn't challenge me as a man. That wasn't my marriage problem. My marriage problem was sex. She just withheld sex, and I just was not going, for the long term. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't, I'm 45 years old, and sex once a week at best is not healthy. I'm not doing it. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was always a chore. It's like, it's a chore, and it led to an insecurity in me to think that I wasn't that good. But then I started cheating, and women like, your wife is crazy as hell. So I was like, oh, okay, it ain't me. So That just made it easy.
Are you good with the 50-50 conversation there, Trey? I mean, you
No,
good?
we're not doing 50-50. Let me just say this. High def, no, we can go there.
Why not? Tell me why. Tell me why. You all your bills together, and a man says, "Trey, I love you. Let's split it down the middle." That ain't good enough.
I'm not doing why. First of all, at our age, now we're talking about 45 and up or 15. We talking about Generation X, right?
Yeah, 45 and up. 45 and up.
A man my age that I'm looking to date should be established and everything, have everything. No.
We're not saying that. Your household and my household, we're going to combine households, but I'm supposed to take care of the household.
Yep. You supposed as a man. No, listen. I'm not saying, but you know, see that's the problem with the men nowadays. That's the problem. Listen, you taking care of your house right now, right?
Right.
So why you think that if
and you are too.
Right. Why do you think that if you asked a woman to marry you, because you're asking a woman to marry you, I'm not asking you to marry me. You're asking a woman I want you to come and live in my world. This is what you said. You need to succumb to what I'm telling you to do. You need to come into my world. You need to be able to do what I'm telling you to do. Then you need to handle your goddamn business and make sure everything is taken care of. And then if you can't, don't ask me to come and succumb to be under your submission and do what you want me to do. What are you doing? Other than bullying and bossing somebody around.
So don't take it as bullying and bossing. So so what I'm saying is that if a woman, this is average. This is not me and you. So I am capable that if a woman comes in, she moves in my house, she don't have to bring a thing. But you can't come in here with this attitude. You got to come in like, baby, teach me. How can I be your helpmate? Every woman falls back on the religious part of it, that you came from a man's rib. Since when did the rib become the body? A woman is the rib of a man. So when did the rib become the body?
But this is the thing about it. But this is, I said this before. And people are saying a joint account. Cool, joint account, everything. The right man that comes along and does what he's supposed to do, he's going to have the right woman under his roof. Like that guy, I can't think of his name. He said he pays all the bills and takes care of everything. His girl could take her money and do what she want to do. But she do what she want to do. She kicking in with her man because her man taking care of her. The way you treat a woman is the way she will respond to you. And when a woman comes into a man's presence, a grown man's presence, a grown leader who don't ask no 50-50 question when he asks you to marry him or be his woman or come into his life or in his space, when that man shows up and say everything's taken care of, that woman gonna kick him like a motherfucker. You understand me? You ain't gonna be no question of what she gonna do with her money. Because when that man come correct, she gonna respect everything about him. The problem is men ain't coming correct. They got this 50-50 question. Real men ain't coming to the table talking about, what you bringing to the table. You gonna pay 50-50? I'm gonna need half it. No, real men coming to the table. You walk in that door, you walk in his life. He already handling everything. That was one thing about my ex-husband. He was raised that way. He never saw his mother pay for nothing. So when I was with him, there was no question of no 50-50. Even when he was down on his luck. And this is when we was young. And I worked at a daycare center. And he was struggling a little bit. He still wouldn't take no money from me. He's like, I'm not taking no money from you. I'm going to figure this shit out. And that's what he did. He's wealthy to this day. And we struggled early on. And he never, ever, even when we didn't have, and I had a little bit, wanted to take anything from me. And to this day, he'll do anything I ask him to do as a friend. Because I was willing to ride with him when he didn't have. And when he got, he never, ever, ever, as a man, the way he was raised by his father, expected a dime for any woman to this day, and any of his brothers. In his 7 brothers, seven boys, they've never, ever expected anything from a woman, because a real man don't expect shit from a woman. And I'm sorry to tell you, a grown-ass generation 50 and over men that's talking about 50-50, you ain't gonna come in my house and do this and do that. A real man ain't expecting shit from a woman. Point blank, period. I don't care what she got. If he's established, He ain't
But-
expecting nothing from her.
But you're making a statement that only 20% of men can do. Most men are barely getting by. Most women are barely getting by. So why wouldn't somebody that's barely getting by, that they love each other, not split the things down the middle so they can get ahead in life?
I just
together?
made a statement. You didn't listen to the statement.
No,
I
but
made.
the
When
statement is
he didn't have, listen, when he didn't have nothing, you said most men ain't getting by. When he didn't have nothing, he pulled up his bootstraps and went and got. He said, I'm not taking nothing from you. I'm good. We gonna make, I'm gonna handle this. So it's not about most men ain't making it right now. It's a 20%. No, a grown man gonna make sure he can handle his business, period.
the
Whatever
problem
level
is
that is.
the problem is, Trey, is that the younger, and we'll say 40 and under, they can't live the life that we live. And we got to stop this narrative that the Generation X, yes, that was a thing that Generation X did. My daughter's almost 30 years old. She still needs assistance from her parents because she cannot make the daily necessary bills, and she has a college degree. So for a woman to say that to a man who's 35, who's just trying to get himself together, that you love each other, because me and my ex-wife didn't have anything and we put our money together and we built what we had. That can still happen. To think that you are going to meet this man and he's supposed to come with everything taken care of. Yes, if you're taking care of I take care of my household now. If a woman moves in today, she's going to be required a percentage of her money is going to go into a pot to take care of other things around here. I don't care. It may not be 50-50. It might be 60-40. It might be 70-30. But you're not going to just take your money and do whatever you want to do with it. That is not realistic for anyone under the age of 40 today. Now, an older man who has a house that he can do these things, yes, that's a different scenario. But for anyone else under the age of 40, it is struggle time in here. And for just to say that you can't and you won't allow, that's just not realistic, man. That is not fair to a young man. That's why men don't need to get married until they later.
We're not talking about younger men right now. We're talking about 50 and up. We're talking about 45 and
We're
up.
talking in general. Dr. Ills, he's general. He's all over the board.
When people are building together, when younger people are coming up, until a man is established, he shouldn't want to take anybody under his roof or under his leadership anyway. Until he's established.
That's why men are not getting married till later now, because they're
That's good. That's a good idea.
So what women need to do is uphold their part and stop having babies before you get married.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I mean,
so a woman who's working a full-time job or even part-time is allowed to do what she wants with her money. We're talking people who are over 50. You meet up with someone, you or someone else in the chat or whatever, who's ever watching this, is a 50-year-old woman. She runs into someone, let's just say she's 50, he's 55. Let's just throw out these numbers. And she's now has been working, handling her bills, has a place to live, a car, all the different, modern amenities, whatever. She's got it going on. He's got it going on. So he's supposed to now take her under his wing, take her into her house, ask her to marry her, move her in. And take over all the bills? Number one question, what is she now doing with her money? And number two, what does he get for paying all the bills?
What she doing with her money is contributing to the house. I didn't say the woman was gonna come. She gonna go to the store and buy groceries. She gonna pull out her credit card and buy the groceries. When something comes up, she gonna pay for that. I'm not saying that a woman ain't gonna do what she's supposed to do in the household. I'm saying that man is supposed to handle the leadership role in the household. That grown man is supposed to handle that. I'm not saying that she got to take her money and she gonna go do whatever she want to do, because that's the problem. That man, this is my point. This is my point for every man that's listening right now. A man shouldn't be dependent on a woman for nothing. A grown, able-bodied man should not be dependent on a woman financially for nothing. Any woman, his mother, his sister, or his wife. He should not be dependent on anybody for nothing. I'm not saying a woman is supposed to be in the house getting furs and boots and pocketbooks and all. I'm saying that man is supposed to be able to handle the business of the home on his own at 50 and up. And if you can't, you shouldn't be taking a woman in your house and expecting to lead anything. Because clearly you haven't financially taken care of what you're supposed to take care of. You haven't been leading correctly. If you have to depend on anybody as a grown man, Lamar, you shouldn't have to depend on nobody as a grown man, and I know you don't. Dr. L, you shouldn't depend on nobody as a grown man, and I know you don't. I'm saying that you should be able to handle your business when that woman comes in that house, and you shouldn't expect anything from her. She's gonna come in.
What does he get?
He's getting companionship. What? First of all, when you ask her to marry you, let's put this on the table. You asked this woman to marry you and come into your home. What did you want from her?
Peace.
Because that's what you should be getting.
Peace,
Because
companionship.
you asked this woman to marry you, unless you married her because you want some money and you need a partner to come in your house and pay half. But
I don't think that's part of the conversation what we're talking about. I don't think any man over the age of 50 is looking for a woman that help contribute. I think that is a younger person's conversation with that they are trying to build together.
But you said, what is the man getting? And I'm answering your question.
I definitely agree that this is a younger person conversation. The issue I had is that this is what Trey is saying. This is one of her expectations. Correct me if I'm wrong. That she's going to meet someone who's in her cohort and expect this man to take over all the bills. Meanwhile, you're doing what you're doing. I'm just trying to figure out what you're going to be doing to contribute to the house.
If a man asked me to be his partner for life to marry him, because I plan on getting married, he's asking me for a reason. Because whatever it is that I brought to his life, right? Whatever it is I brought to his life, this is why he's asking me married. This is why he's bringing me in his home, right? Whether I come and I cook, whether I wash his clothes, whether I rub his back, whether I bring him peace, whatever that thing is, that's what that man is asking me for. So the man that I'm going to marry is going to be established, and he's not going to expect anything from me financially when I walk through his door. That's all I'm saying, and that's not everybody.
Right. So he may not expect it, but you said you're going to do it.
Of course I would. A good man, I'm gonna kick in from every angle.
All right.
Whatever.
I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick in from every whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial. I'm gonna be his biggest cheerleader. I'm gonna take care of our house. I'm gonna take care of him. Period. Whatever that looks like to him. Whatever that looks like to him, because that's the reason why he's gonna ask me to marry him. That's why that man gonna give me his last name, because he's gonna say, this the one right here. Because she does X, Y, and Z. And it ain't gonna have nothing to do with finances. Because he can take care of himself. He owns his own home. He has everything in order. But what he's getting from me is what he's going to need, and every man is different. Some man want a trophy on their arm. Their wife ain't got to do shit. She pretty. Look at, what's her name? Ice-T's wife, Coco. Mm-hmm. Her whole life, that's what
she cheated on him. Coco cheated on him.
But I'm saying, but look at her. Look at her. And I'm sure she's made some money off calendars and different things, but the majority of the money, he took care of everything because she gave him what he wanted. He wanted a white girl with big titties. No, I'm being honest.
I don't think that was the requirement.
Yes, it was.
I think that was it.
Listen to me. Do you see how she keeps herself? Mm-hmm. Do you think she keep herself like that for anybody other than Ice-T? Mm-hmm. Hell to the no. She looks like that.
But why? Because men are visual,
and because why is she? Because he taking care of everything. He want to come home and look at that big booty, them titties and tight clothes, and that's what she do every day. And she prance around in the heels.
And he's 60 plus, and
he happy.
And she's almost 50. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you skipped up her question. Yoli, I answered that question.
I was going to come back to it. I didn't forget. Go ahead.
That's a quick one. You can't re-gift your kitty cat, okay?
But I'm saying that's why they're an example of what did his money, and he's taking care of everything. What is he getting from her? They still together after all these years, and y'all said she cheated. Clearly, whatever she's giving him, whether it's head, knees, or toes, he getting what he want from her. So he handling his business. So every man is different.
Sex before marriage at 50 Christian persons, and this goes into Yoli's question here for Lamar. If you and I are dating and I want to wait until marriage
Lamar
to have
ain't
sex, would you
waiting.
be okay with
Go slap yourself. You crazy. Go slap yourself. You're like,
Lamar ain't waiting for no
I'm
booty
not
from
waiting for
nobody.
no booty. You crazy? You've
He
tried 50
said,
years.
let me tell you why Lamar ain't waiting. Here's Lamar's philosophy. I know my brother like no other. Why would I wait to unwrap a gift that's already been unwrapped 50 times?
There
You
you
can't rewrap
There you go.
a gift.
Dr. L, what do you think?
I'm not waiting either. No, I'm not. No, I'm not waiting.
You're too old for these games, man. Cut that out.
Oh, well, you know what? You and I might wait. You and I might wait, but I'm not gonna wait.
I'm not waiting.
I'm
not waiting. That just, not when you got kids walking around and you've been married and.
So
why you make me wait? What about me that makes me you choose me to make me wait?
Well, this goes into the previous conversation about leveling up and changing and reestablishing yourself. Now she's a Christian woman. She's found God. She's gone back to church, and now she's trying to do the right thing. She made mistakes before, gave herself to these other men, and now they figure out that's not the way to do it. They weren't worthy. Why am I giving my best self to these people who aren't worthy, etc.? And now she wants to wait.
Go find your sucker. He'll wait.
No, he ain't got to be a sucker. He might be on the same page. No, because let me tell you something too. Let me tell you something that I've learned. I've learned now from talking to different men. There are a lot of men that are not willing to give their body to certain women now, which is a total different ball game than what we're used to. We're so used to men operating with their dick that when a man now men are coming along and saying, I don't want to sleep with you. Like, I'm going to wait.
That's a small percentage of men, though.
It is, but they're out there,
The men that can control their physical stuff, it gets to a different level of confidence with a man. I've had women, like, hey, I'm not here to have sex with you. I can call somebody right after you leave. Like, I'm not tripping on you in sex. At some point, I want to know if you can carry on a conversation. We'll get to the sex part, but the initial, we cool, hang out a couple of times. You get at least 2 or 3 times to hang out with me over a period of 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll figure it out, or not.
All right, my good people, I gotta hop off.
All right, we appreciate you coming up. Push your show.
Thank you for having me, Dr. L.
No, anytime, you know that. Push your show and tell us where people who don't know can find you.
You can find us on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. New You Nation Network YouTube channel. I'm at Trey Kearney, TrayKearney on all social media. I'm at Trey Kearney 26 on TikTok. And you can DM me. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm Google-licious, but don't judge me because I ain't always been saved. Peace and blessings. See y'all later.
That means she'll cut you. She ain't always been saved now.
I know it's been saved. So don't judge me when you go all the way back because you might see some stuff. All right. See y'all later.
Love you.
Love y'all.
All right. Love you too. Take care.
Oh, wait, Yoli, hold up. What was it? I saw one question going up and down. Hold up. Yoli said about my daughter. Yoli, I've had enough sex, and I made one child when I wanted to. So it's possible. You can have fun. You just have to be responsible. My mom made it very clear when I was 15, 16 years old. She said, never leave it to a woman to take care of your business. Had unprotected sex with 3 women in my life. One of them I married. 1 kid I made. So it's possible. So, and women just gotta, y'all gotta stop letting dudes do that,
Yeah. Let me say allegedly to this Ice-T claim. I mean, it was something I heard a long time ago, and I looked it up on AI and stuff. They're saying they denied it and stuff. So I don't know. I don't want to get sued by Ice-T. So, so let me just say, let me say allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I was with her with a lot of what she said. I'm not with that whole financial thing. I'm not. I wasn't feeling that at all. So,
You it's just it doesn't make any financial sense. Is what I'm saying is that it's like if you have a house, I have a house, I sell or rent my house, you sell or rent your house, and we buy something together. Why are we not throwing this all in the pot together? Like, I mean, why am I got to be responsible for everything? So it's just I don't I've never had a woman live with me. I've gotten close to it once, but we had a discussion about what she would require. So I told her 70% of what you make goes into an account, and we'll take care of whatever. We'll set up insurance, we'll set up stocks, we'll set up all of that, but it's for vacations and everything like that. And she was, every woman's been okay with that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 50-50, it could be 70-30, 60-40. It doesn't matter, but you're not going to walk in the door and just live for free.
Yeah, buying handbags. You're
coming in with all these bags. Look what I got. Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, your bank account is exponentially growing, and mine is trickling up, and
there should be a savings on both parts, and that's what I'm saying. Use the thing. If it's $5,000, just your household and my household, and that's $10,000. But now together we've cut that down to $5,000. We should be saving money. So
right.
It's just, and I don't. And again, if you're younger, if my daughter's 30 years old and she meets a man, yes, that's how me and her mother did it. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. But I also understand the dynamics that when a man and a woman are the same age, it's hard for that man to become a man. It's hard for him to be able to have that voice and that authority to talk to that woman when they're too close in age. And that's just my own personal experience when I was married. She's 53, I'm 53. We're learning at the same pace. So if I'm telling her something, she's looking at me like, But it's different at 53 and 42. And I say something and she's like, oh, this comes from a different place. You've lived a different life than me. It's like, and it's a little bit more respect. So it's just digestible.
Yeah. I do think there is something to that. And I think the trade kind of sees that from the male perspective, somehow that magic age of 60 sets her off there.
She's using, she calls it the watch out there now guy. You've seen the old comedian with his pants up to his chest. That's what she thinks. And I told her, I said, if I was 60 years old, you would feel different about it because you
right. I mean, there's some cool 60, 65-year-olds. I mean, I've seen them. I know some.
I plan on being cool at 60 years old.
I plan on being that way too.
I plan on being cool. I plan on being in shape. Does that mean that I want a 40-year-old? No, it doesn't. It just means that I want a woman that's going to compliment me at this age. At 60, I'm definitely leading with everything I need. And if we're compatible, if we like the same things, then that's a reason to be together. But, I mean, shit, if I'm single till I'm 60 and I've been single too long, that's not going to favor in anyone's thing. And that's probably where my life is headed because I'm better off with friends with women because they come with too many other issues at this age.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that a little bit too. These issues that we're having here, and we'll save that for another time. But these we're having, it's crazy now. So anyway, brother, thanks so much for coming up.
Appreciate for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to do this more often, man. I appreciate everybody who's joined into the conversation. Make sure you hit the like button if you have not done the survey or the poll there. Make sure you do it. Let me read off what we got for results so far. Our older ladies, delusional, 55% said yes, 25% said no, 21% said sometimes. So if you have not done the survey or the poll, make sure you go over there and do that and hit the like button on our way out. I would really, really appreciate it. What are your thoughts on what Paul Pierce said when he said it to
Dr.
What is it? Cheyenne Bryant?
Cheyenne Bryant. Yeah, we're not gonna call her Doctor. Cheyenne Bryant.
Yeah, Cheyenne Bryant. Yeah, thank you. I'm usually one calling her. Saying we ain't calling her Doc. What did he say? He said that nobody was checking for a 40-year-old, right, or something like that.
He was just saying that she spent the block and she had a dude. Allegedly she had a dude, and she's kind of dangling him out there. and not really taking it serious. He wants her more than she wants him. So the dynamics, again, the dynamics of that relationship, he's a younger dude. He likes her. She's beautiful. I'm not going to deny that. But she comes with this entitlement. And it's like that same dynamic wouldn't work if the man was 50 and she was 40.
Cheyenne Bryant is living, kind of like a man. She has all these different friends, and that was one of the first questions that Paul Pierce, before they got to that part, if you watch the interview, before that, she was like, I have friends, and this, so she's living her life and sleeping with whoever she's sleeping with, right? She had an IUD, so people are shooting up the club, allegedly. I don't want to get sued by Cheyenne Bryant either. So this is she's living this way. She had a lot. She's obviously a beautiful woman in these particular spaces. She's meeting these different people and allegedly just doing what she's doing. And then, when she turns around, now she wants to have a baby and this and that. She's becoming exactly what we were talking about tonight. You're living this life, and now you want to settle down and have a baby at 42. I mean,
that's crazy.
Hey, crazy.
Post dated. Send them 40-year-olds this way. MAR_T_HALL13 on Instagram. She's talking about she knows some cool 40-year-olds. We'll see. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying there's not good women out there. It's just the entitlement, Instagram, and things of that nature. It's just, I don't know. It's just, there's going to be a lot of single women in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, and we didn't really get into this tonight, but again, I wanted to, maybe we'll save it for another time, but I really just talk about the attitude, the entitlement, and just, it's just, you can't be, well, anyway, you can't be expecting the same things, when you've got all this stuff behind you. So, we'll talk about that another time. So unrealistic expectation. We'll leave it off with Jen Will there. Unrealistic expectations.
You know what? I love it that women are starting to understand it, and you guys are the controller of your happiness. You truly are. It's just like, if you want a man, you can get a man. And I think if you listen to Dr. L, me, and other types of men that are older, that have gone through things, we're going to give you nuggets. I'm not saying we're 100% right. All I'm saying is that take the nuggets and take it as an opportunity to go, are you really checking for yourself and really going, am I living in reality? Am I really able to get what I think? And I just, it's just like, come on now. Accountability, we know, most women do not have accountability, but that's another story.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for joining the show. Consider becoming members of the channel. I appreciate it. I'm gonna grab something to eat, play some video games.
I'm gonna play some video games too.
All right, y'all. Take care. Much love and peace.
Appreciate it.